Hello guys, Modified 360 here. I usually don't make videos about a off-topic subject, but I thought because it's 4 days before the 9/11 anniversary, I thought it would be a good time to just go ahead and speak my mind, if you will, to you guys in the YouTube community. I have a few things I want to talk about. First being the Freedom Tower versus the Twin Tower 2 project, which has already been taken in effect for the past, about 2.5, 3 years. Obviously, the new Freedom Tower is already topping out. And yet again, it never ceased to amaze me how they've been behind on this whole project the whole time. I mean, let's face it. I mean, a decade and a year and a half later, and we're not even done. I mean, this is the only one of the four or five buildings that are supposed to be part of this new WTC, well, actually, yeah, just new Trade Center in general. And, World Trade Center 3 and 4, or is it, yeah, 3 and 4, they are way behind. I mean, they're not even rising above 10 feet off the ground. Their foundation is just still sitting there, and it's ridiculous. I've seen some insight myself personally, and it's kind of disgraceful, if you will. 11 years and haven't even done anything. And it's a big taxpayer's expense, but enough of that. It's really the fact of what is morally right and what's the concern for the American people. Now, usually you would think, just think, from years ago, oh, well, this is a terrible event, but we are sure that the towers will be rebuilt even taller, stronger, and they will once again deliver that excellence of being a symbolic icon to the nation. You'd like to think that. That sounds great. But with all the political, corruptness and, incorrectness of, the Port Authority and, not necessarily Michael Bloomberg, but who's the designer? I actually have, not designer, he's the guy that bought out Larry Silverstein. Here he is. Yeah, right here. He is the one that actually went ahead and he was interested in actually the entire World Trade Center complex here, and he went ahead and put in a winning bid in July of 2001 there, and he was the owner of the entire platform there. So basically, what happened was he was a liar. He said that he would, and I quote, this was a terrible event, tragic, but I will assure you that the towers will be rebuilt as of the effect of the next year. And of course, what happened? Nothing. We pretty much none of this. Actually, he signed an agreement in 2007 showing that he wanted to go ahead and do the new, at the time it was called the Freedom Tower project. And you should have seen all the designs for it. I mean, if you just type in Google Images, which I'm not going to do, I already have the, here it is. This is obviously, if any of you guys aren't aware, this is what the new proposed tower looks like. One World Trade, as I said, they renamed it a year ago from the opposing name Freedom Tower for whatever reason. It doesn't really look like it fits in. I mean, you look at that compared to the original Twin Towers here. I mean, it's kind of like, well, what the hell? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's a great architectural, modern style building. I'm sure it's safe. I'm sure it's very cool, if you will. But it does not fit in the New York City skyline. It just doesn't. It doesn't deliver that symbolic icon and, that, typical American, New York City feeling, and that's certainly not a tower that I want to see over the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous looking, and this is only one building. They're only doing one tower, which is this. That's going to be the tallest, and then they're going to have this weird ass shaped other building. And you guys can do more research into it. I'm not going to get into that. But I mean, they're already over budget. The cost of just this building alone is 3.1 billion. Now it's going to be, look at that, 3.8 billion by January or past January, and they're not even done yet. And I'll go ahead, we'll just go to Google Images here, and we'll type in WTC1, and we'll see what pops up here. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of irrelevant crap. Okay, but this is a pretty good picture right here. This is an artistic rendering. You see, this is World Trade Center 1, this is World Trade Center 2, and these are, I don't know, these are supposed to be the other supporting buildings of the World Trade Center. And this is obviously where this ground zero where the World Trade Center 1 and 2 once stood. But this is ridiculous. I mean, look at that. You don't even have a lobby. I did some research into this, and I'm just kind of being broad about everything here, just for the sake of your understanding. But this is all concrete. Supposedly, this is 200 feet of concrete to be against any kind of car bomb, any kind of crazy whatever, some crazy heathen going in, in like a FedEx truck parking out front. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, this is just not the way that they should be dealing with this situation. And I have actually taken it upon myself. I've actually emailed Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York City, and Lower Manhattan. And I haven't had a reply yet, obviously. But it was basically just saying, well, guys, come on. You should really be focusing on what the American people want and what the American people deserve, and you shouldn't be downing that in any sort of way. And that's what the Port Authority especially has been doing. And I don't agree with it, just like many. There was actually a recent poll where 69% of, this is just a broad poll across the U.S., 69% of all U.S. citizens agreed to have the original World Trade Centers rebuilt. And only, I believe, what was it? 30 something, 39%. Well, let's see here. 69 minus, or from 100. Yeah, 39% agreed to have this stupid Freedom Tower, World Trade Center 1, whatever you want to call it, rebuilt. And it's that's just showing what the intent is of our motivation rather of rebuilding the Twin Towers, which is very strong. And websites like this, I haven't mentioned, sorry about that. The TwinTowersAlliance.com, I've actually went ahead and signed their petition a while ago. It's a great website, just like many, that basically just discuss about what the people want, obviously, is one of their quotes here. They have a great petition side, taking action. They have, many clips from movies and, music videos and things like that the World Trade Twin Towers were incorporated in. Here we go. I love this picture right here. And it's so true because this is the sign of political incorrectness right here. As you can see here, we have the empty gap where the buildings once stood with Twin Towers, and we have this single spire, rocket ship looking deal. And it's true. This does not restore the skyline. This is crap, and it's going to look even worse when the World Trade Center 2 is rebuilt. Because as I showed you earlier, and I should have, forgive me, I should have had that on hand as a picture, but you saw it was a terrible looking building. It was worse than this. Um, but yeah, guys, this is a great. Here we go. This is a real photo. This is of World Trade Center 1. And I believe this is World Trade Center 2? No, not 2. It's one of them. It's not 3. It's not 3, I know that. Because, like I said, World Trade Center 3, and I believe it's World Trade Center 3 and 4 that are still, not even at, you know, lobby level. So it's just terrible, And guys, not to go on too long about this. I usually do this in all my vlogs. I usually go on a little bit too long. But honestly, what do you guys think? Do you think that we should have our World Trade Centers rebuilt and the tax dollars should be paid for doing something like this? Or should we have, this weird looking, not this, should we have this weird looking spire, single spire, weird angled, giant concrete base looking building thing? You guys tell me. So, it's just a thought out there. And again, they're not even done with this. And here's why I mentioned, and just like many, there's still time to rebuild these Twin Towers. World Trade Center 3 and 4. I know it's 3. Guys, don't criticize me on not knowing all my facts because they keep changing the names around, especially during this year. But I know for a fact World Trade Center 3 and either 4 or 5 or something they're not even at lobby level, like I said, I know that. And this is a great opportunity for we, the American people, to really try to get this deal going with Ken Gardner's Twin Towers 2 project. And there are many videos on that. I actually have one of them, and I believe it's my likes video. Actually, I've watched this guy here who is actually showing an interesting video about rebuilding the Twin Towers. But anyways, guys, yeah. So I hope you liked my video, and please comment, rate, and subscribe, and yeah, mention what you guys think, and is try to get the word across. Twin Towers 2 project that actually has, or Twin Towers Alliance, excuse me, their website here. They actually have a Facebook page, and you guys can check it out. So anyways, guys, yep. Thanks for watching. See you guys.